In this episode of YesterKitchen, we're going to explore a dessert created to promote a brand new invention, the refrigerator, and add some booziness from the 1970s. You're gonna love it. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Jill and this is YesterKitchen. Part food history, part cooking, all delicious. Thank you so much for being here. Today is a very special day. It's Collaboration Day, and I am collaborating with a wonderful channel, Recipes with Resa. Resa has such a great channel. She does all kinds of cooking, delicious dishes, whether it be savory or sweet. Everything is easy and you're gonna love it. If you haven't seen her channel, I highly recommend you do. I'm gonna put her link right down in the description. So when we decided to do this collaboration, we thought, what's a dish that we can make a retro version of for me and a current version of for her? And we came up with an icebox dessert. It could be a cake, it could be a pie. They are fabulous. And for those of you who are coming over from Resa's channel, I do all retro. Usually the 1940s to the 1980s, I make some fabulous dishes, always from the past. And because I'm a food historian, I always give you the background on the story and how it was created or what was going on in the time. And that's just my absolute passion. So I wanted to make a really good dessert for you today. And I am doing Harvey Wallbanger icebox pie. Whoa, boozy, yes, 70s, yes, delicious, oh yes. So who is Harvey Wallbanger? Well, he maybe was a who, he maybe wasn't a who. Actually, check out my video after this. I explain the whole history of Harvey Wallbanger. It was actually a cocktail, very, very popular in the 70s, but it also was a cake, and I make them both in the video, and I give you all the history of who he was and where he came from and why he was so popular. But for now, we're gonna get started on the dessert. So of course, this is a no-bake dessert because that's what icebox cakes and pies are. So we are gonna start with a double boiler. If you don't have a double boiler, don't worry, I've got you. I'm not even using one, so because I know most people don't have one. So what I have here is I have a Dutch oven, about a quarter to a third of the way with water, and I have it simmering. And to that, I have a bowl of 22, not 21, not 23, 22 marshmallows. And to that, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of orange juice. Now the reason you're using a double boiler is so this doesn't burn. You have that water that's kind of a buffer between the heat and your ingredients. So it's gonna cook a little slow. If you don't wanna use the double boiler method, you can use a pot, just regular pot, just keep your fire really, really low because you want it to just cook very slowly. And we're just gonna cook until this melts. And while we're waiting for this to melt, what's the story behind an icebox pie or an icebox cake or even icebox cookies? Well, they were truly invented to promote the brand new invention of the refrigerator because refrigerators didn't always exist. Before that, there were ice boxes. Take a look. This is an ice box. It kind of, all the shelves were slatted and there was ice in the bottom and the cold would radiate up so all your ingredients would stay cold. That was an invention from about 1800. And every house had an ice box and the iceman would come. Or the ice girls. And they would come and they would deliver ice, and maybe like once a week or maybe every 3 days until it started melting, and then they would come and bring a new thing of ice. And that's really how people kept their food cold inside the house. It was just the way it was. So in 1913, the actual refrigerator was invented. Not exactly as we know it now. It was very rudimentary, but it was invented. So no one really had them. They were just brand new and very expensive. And around 1923, the Frigidaire company, who still is in existence, made the first home use refrigerator. I'm gonna stir this a little bit just to get it going. So they made the first home use refrigerator, and it was $600, which doesn't sound like a lot, but $600 in 1923 money was $7,000. So really, people still had their ice boxes for quite a while. They really didn't start getting popular in the homes until like the late 30s, early 40s. So as time went on, they started manufacturing refrigerators for home use. So they started getting more and more mainstream around the 30s and 40s, and manufacturers would promote refrigeration required recipes. As a matter of fact, take a look at this. This is from 1954. It's actually an instruction book that comes with your brand new Hot Point refrigerator. And as you can see, it's full of recipes and it's very, very much celebrating chilled desserts and pretty much anything else that you can put in the fridge. It was brand new, it was really exciting, and they wanted people to buy refrigerators, and they wanted to promote, hey, you don't always have to use your oven to cook things, and that's where the whole refrigerated dessert came from. But because people were still calling them ice boxes, even though they had a refrigerator, the term icebox stuck. And the term icebox stayed for a long time until finally it was replaced by the term refrigerator in common mainstream. And then our friends in the 70s got a hold of icebox desserts, and of course, booze was huge. So it started getting into a lot of desserts. That's where we get our glorious Harvey Wallbanger, because it was already very, very popular in the 70s, especially in a baked cake version. But someone brilliantly decided to turn it into an icebox dessert. So we're gonna let these marshmallows melt, and I'll be right back when they're done. Okay, so our marshmallows are all melted. Take a look. See, it's thin because you have all that orange juice, but you have this gorgeous, gorgeous orange. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn off the heat and push this away. And then, in we go. I am gonna let this sit here and cool. You want it to come to room temperature. Okay, so it's been about 5-6 minutes. Take a look. See, it's just very, very thin. You're not making Rice Krispie treats. It's not a thick marshmallow, and it is delicious. But you want it like lukewarm room temperature, and it's been sitting for about 5-6 minutes. So Harvey Wallbanger is vodka, orange juice, and Galliano. What's Galliano? This, my empty bottle, is Galliano. It's actually a very, very yellow liqueur that has a very, very slight licorice taste. And truth be told, I do not like licorice. But in this drink, it absolutely works. It's not a strong taste. It's very, very light. So we've got our mixture. And to that, we're gonna turn it into a Harvey Wallbanger. So to this mixture, you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of orange liqueur. It could be Cointreau, it could be Grand Marnier, or it can be the generic orange liqueur. It doesn't matter as long as it's orange liqueur. So in it goes. And then we have 3 tablespoons, see how yellow it is? Oh my goodness, of Galliano. And that's just gonna add that perfect, yep, it's a Harvey Wallbanger taste. And if you haven't made the regular cocktail, you should, it's fabulous. And we're also gonna add a teaspoon of grated orange rind. I microplane mine, so it gets really, really fine. And then we're gonna mix this together. And then here comes refrigerator part 1, or icebox part 1. The name kind of stuck, I kind of love it. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the refrigerator until it becomes slightly thickened. Okay, our mixture has been in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Just keep checking it, you just want it cold. So as long as it takes, but there's tons of other things to do while you're waiting, right? That's the magic of refrigerators or iceboxes. So anyways, you can see it's a little thick. It's not super thick, that's not what you're looking for. Okay, so really quick, let's talk about what this pie is going into. The original recipe calls for a chocolate pie shell, and I like easy, so into the market and I bought a chocolate pie shell. If you're not a fan of the orange chocolate thing going on, you can use graham cracker, you can use vanilla wafers, you can buy it, you can make it if you want to make it. I'll put how to do it in the description. So what I've got is 1 pint, the tiny little guys, of whipping cream, and I've already whipped it. All you do is you pour it into a bowl, get your beaters going. In about 3 to 5 minutes, you will have whipped cream. And as you can see, I only have half of it. I put half of it in a pastry bag for later. We'll talk about that. But in the meantime, let's get that spoon out of there. And we're gonna fold in the other half of the whipped cream. Now when you fold, it literally means fold. If you wanna stir it, it's just gonna be too much and break down the whipped cream. So you wanna just very, very gently start folding your cream in. Okay, so as you can see, we are all incorporated. And the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna move this and bring in our beautiful pie shell. I love shortcuts. And we are gonna fill our pie shell with this glorious Boozy mixture straight out of the 70s. And then we're gonna put our refrigerator to work again. And you're gonna put this in the fridge until it firms up completely. It's gonna take about an hour, hour and a half, so we'll be back when that happens. Hey, so it's been about an hour. Take a look. See, our pie, when you shake it, it kind of stays still. That's what you want. You want it cold all the way through. It's a whipped cream based pie. There is some gelatin in the marshmallows, but you're not gonna get like a completely firm pie because you're not adding regular gelatin to it, but this is delicious. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take that other half of the whipped cream that we whipped. I have it in a pastry bag. If you don't have a pastry bag, you can put it in a Ziploc bag and cut off the corner, or you can just spread the whipped cream on top. But I'm gonna do it this way because, you know, that'd be pretty. So you just kind of do whatever you want all the way around. And then I have on the side some oranges that I'm gonna garnish with. You don't have to do it, but I like to put in the pie I like to decorate the pie with what's inside the pie. So I've got these cute little orange slices, and maybe every couple little dollops I'll put them in, and it just makes for such pretty pie. Look at that, gorgeous. So be sure to check out Resa's channel. It is great, and if you do, tell her Jill said hi. And if you're here from Resa's channel, welcome. I hope you have fun learning history through food here. If you would like to explore more dishes from your childhood or just the past, I invite you to subscribe. I release new videos every Friday. In the meantime, here's some more retro dishes for you. And remember, every dish, even Harvey Wallbanger icebox pie, has a story. I'll see you in the next video.